Hey you guys, welcome back to A Red Spatula. Today I'm going to show you how to make 100% rye scones with a spiced glaze on them. They are so good, and even though they're 100% whole grain, they are still incredibly light and flaky. Now, of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss any new videos coming out. Okay, so to start these scones, what you're going to do is mix together your dry ingredients. Set these aside, and then we're going to mix together our wet ingredients. The key to making good scones is having everything ready so it all comes together quickly. You want them to stay chilled until they hit the oven, and to do this, you just want to have things in order. Now, you're going to add in your chunks of butter. I cut these into about 1/2-inch pieces into the dry ingredients. You're going to want to break these up to about pea-sized pieces. This can be done in a food processor. This can be done with a couple of knives. I like to use a pastry blender or a pastry cutter. They're incredibly cheap and I use it all the time. It does take a little bit of manpower though. And then once this is all broken up, now again, we're working quickly because we want that butter to stay chilled. Once this is done and you have small pieces, we're going to want to add our wet ingredients into this. Now you're going to notice that this dough is a little bit more hydrated than what you would normally see scones as, and that's because rye flour absorbs a lot of moisture. So you want it to start out a little bit wetter than what you would normally make a scone dough, especially if you're making it with, you know, like all-purpose flour or something. So once it's mixed together, I like to put it out onto floured surface and just knead it very quickly a couple times. You don't want to overdo this, of course. That'll make for tough scones. And then once it's kneaded together, now you can see also I use a lot more flour than what I would normally do here on the surface. That's just because the dough is so sticky, it's a little bit tricky to work with. Now go ahead and cut these out however you want. I did circles. There's a little bit of waste with circles, so if you don't like that, go ahead and do that, you know, kind of classic triangular shape. And then because we don't want to overwork the dough, but I also hate food waste and I avoid it as much as I can, you can knead this back together a couple of times. You can see just very quickly, not overworking it, and you can cut a couple more from this. Now, I never like to do this more than just that one time. And then once these are done, we're going to chill these in the fridge for at least 15 minutes. You can actually leave these overnight if you want to do this, and then in the morning when you wake up, bake them. And then once they're chilled for those 15 minutes, I like to go ahead and brush as much of that flour off as I can. And then we're going to egg wash these. You don't have to egg wash it. I just think it gives it such a pretty surface. My egg wash is just 1 egg and a couple tablespoons of heavy cream. You can also use milk. All of this is going to be in the description, all the ingredients and plus the measurements. Sprinkle this with the raw sugar and it goes right into the oven. Now, one key for baking whole grain baked things is you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overbake them, otherwise they dry out. This is what they should look like. They're perfect. They're flaky. When you cut into them, of course, look at that. That's just amazing. Now you can eat them just like they were, just like that, or you can do the spice glaze. I love the spice glaze on top. And of course, it's very easy to do as well. Just take a whisk, or you can use a hand mixer if you want to do it, but it's not hard to mix by hand. Now, I like to make this glaze a little bit thicker because all that I do is drizzle it on top. You're going to see here in just a little bit what it looks like, but it's just a thicker glaze. Glaze them as much or as little as you want, and that's it. These scones are perfect for breakfast, brunch, or even a light dessert or a less sweet dessert if you want it. And of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss any of my new videos that are coming out.